What goes on for us when we're trying to heal is that we place conditions on our love. We say, they did this, so I can't love them. They hurt me in this way, so I can't love them. I've done these things in my life, so I can't be loved. And we block it. It doesn't mean that the love is not there. What I'm saying is sometimes what we're really looking at is the need to give ourselves permission just to love. A woman came in for therapy once to me, a lovely woman in her 40s. And the reason that she was attending was because she had found out that her mother had a terminal illness. Now, she'd been estranged from her mother for probably about 15 years. Her mother had had some mental health issues, some bad ones. And she had to really work through and think about how much time she was going to want and be able to spend with her mother, because it brought up a lot for her. So when she came in, she spoke about it, she would be saying things like, it just brings back a lot of difficult memories, or there are things I don't want to think about, or I find it hard to be around her. Now, when someone comes into therapy, our job is not to push them in any direction. Our job is just to kind of be with them and let them sort of sift through and sort through what's going on inside of them. And as we did this, she was kind of saying things like, well, I do want to go, but I just don't want to be upset by it. Or I do want to see her, but I'm worried it'll go badly. I want to bring my daughter. I want my daughter to see her, but I'm not sure how it's going to go. So this was really interesting, And she did make the decision. We kind of sifted and sorted through it, and we decided, okay, she would go and see how one meeting was, see if she could manage that. And she went, and it was a very powerful and poignant moment for her because she saw her mother, and this was not the same mother that she remembered from 15 years ago. It was not the same mother that she had remembered from her childhood. This was a woman who was frail, a woman who was suffering, and a woman who was really glad to see her. And so she came back in and she was processing some of that. And one of the things that also came up that I thought was interesting is she said, I'm ready to bring my daughter to see her, which I thought was wonderful. This is a big move. Daughter has never met grandmother. And I said, okay, that's really interesting. What's going on there? Why are you ready for this? What's prompting that? And she began to cry and she said, I don't want my daughter to think that we're people that can't manage this. I want her to see that we're people that can manage this. And I asked her to speak more about that. And the gist of all of this and what came from it for me is the reality is that I think almost all of us are charged with loving people sometimes who are not the most lovable. And at any given point, we are charged with receiving love when we don't feel lovable inside sometimes. The love is still there is my point. There's something very important in these heavy fates because the loving impulses are always there. They don't actually disappear. We know this when we really get stuck into therapy with people. The instinct and the impulse to love is always there. But what goes on for us when we're trying to heal is that we place conditions on our love. We say, they did this, so I can't love them. They hurt me in this way, so I can't love them. I've done these things in my life, so I can't be loved. And we block it. It doesn't mean that the love is not there. So what I'm saying is sometimes what we're really looking at is the need to give ourselves permission just to love, no matter what. No matter how dark, no matter what some of the uglier points were, to give ourselves permission to say, yes, all of that happened, and yes, I have these memories, and yes, some of those things were like that, and yet I still love. I can't help myself, because that's really what's underneath. We just need permission.